Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to the Taiko World Cup 2026. We are back with yet another match in this very group stage, and we've got quite another match that we are going to be witnessing for this first day of the rounds in general. Going into the likes of Group B, it's going to be none other than Malaysia versus Indonesia. Both these teams and countries respectively have quite some experience under their belt, and yeah, once again, there's pretty much a lot that we have to unpack here. While it is pretty much a match that's either going to be close or is going to go into the hands of one another. So as usual, I am in the commentary booth. It's going to be me, Epic Man 2, joining as a guest commentator, and so far we will have Iken 5050 joining with us as well. What's rocking?
Hello everyone, I'm really quite excited to see this match today. The Malaysian team is always very impressive. Quite eager to see what they've cooked up.
Indeed, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they've planned it like this, but Malaysia has got both of their matches back to back, get them both out the way today, right away. So, it can go really well or really badly.
This is definitely the type of sentiment that Indonesia is going to have to really try and look out for, or Malaysia for that matter, because of the fact that over here we do pretty much have the general information that we really need from, practically anything else. If it does come down to Indonesia winning off of this round, if it does come down to Indonesia winning off of this match, then having to face the Philippines is definitely going to result in quite a close match for the likes of C of Group B, Whereas, whoever does end up winning off of this match, I'm assuming is going to have to at least play the likes of China over in the round of 16 next week.
Notably, Indonesia and Philippines, they basically did exactly equally as well in the qualifiers, ending up as seed 24 and seed 25. But Malaysia stands, at least from the qualifiers, head and shoulders above with their result, because they got 9th seed. So I'm excited to see how close this is going to be, because you might say the group stage is slightly easier, so maybe that favors Indonesia. It's a little bit closer to their preferred skill range in terms of just general difficulty.
Definitely some notes to be taking or writing down while we are about to go with this match in a bit. We do have quite some recognizable names on both ends of this spectrum here. The likes of Jerry and also Ray, for example, and just many other players that we have on this board right here. So I think the general notion that I'm probably going to expect is that a variety of people might be expecting the favor to go into the hands of Malaysia right here. Just solely because of the seeding difference that we have here, because it was quite a big margin as to what is usually expected within the group stage. However, Indonesia does have some tricks up their sleeve if it does come down to them, at least perhaps utilizing some of the more mechanical picks, for example, to try and bring things more altogether in their favor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's, on paper, Indonesia is going to have to try and be tricky. Just things like consistency maps, I find it hard to believe that they're going to win unless Malaysia has a really big break of form. Because, again, on paper, they look so much stronger. But, again, I could be completely wrong, and Indonesia could have accidentally thrown their qualifiers seed just for content.
Oh yeah, I mean, the idea of even imagining such a reality would definitely be something concerning. But at the same time, Malaysia is definitely one of those teams that has been around for a hella long time in the Taiko World Cups, especially having played ever since, I suppose the very first iteration of the Taiko World Cup, or at least starting off with the group stage, and then also being a finalist back in TWC3 and also in 2014's iteration. So that definitely does add enough sentiment that they have enough history under their belt to be able to prove that they have been around for, or at least have stood the test of time in this regard. And even now, they're not doing too bad either, at least making it to around semifinals in the losers, based on the previous few years or so.
I mean, I'm excited to see because Malaysia has fully grabbed everyone from the retirement home. There's lots of players on their team that maybe were a little bit less active throughout the year, especially people like Jerry, Celtic Rifle. They haven't been super vocal and super active in tourneys, but they always show up for TWC.
Absolutely, and that's pretty much like one of the main sentiments that really allows for teams to be able to continue pushing forward no matter what the agenda is going into the modern day. Because if you have long-lasting members that look to try and at least support your team for quite the while coming, then you you pretty much have yourself sorted for quite some time,
Yeah, I mean, I also find it's just over the last few years that Malaysia has had a lot of new and upcoming players, and I find it actually really quite wholesome to see that they have this really vibrant mix of older players and these new players really looking to make a name for themselves. We have gone into the bans, and Malaysia's banned No Mod 2. This is one of those sort of consistency maps we sort of mentioned. So maybe that's the idea. But I think that's they have to ban things that they believe Indonesia is reliably gonna full combo or so.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I would expect a lot of teams to try and strategize when it comes to the early games, considering that when it comes to maps that really try and tank more on your consistency than anything, it really does open up for some rather expected strategies that a variety of teams will want to try and stray away from those picks, perhaps because they don't want to go into dangerous territory when it comes to picks that are at least of a good length. This map, on the other hand, the Remy Ghoul, the Remy Goal. Okay, I can't read from here. yeah. This map's of like average length, only 2.5 minutes, almost 6 stars, just 0.08 stars, just behind what could have been.
I think it's really fun that AABC was back for making maps, because they had a big period where they were a little bit more inactive. They were very, very active during, I don't want to sound like an unk now, but during maybe 2015 or 2016. So it's always fun to see, this mix that Taiko World Cup brings out of getting lots of new map players involved and trying to tie in lots of, I guess, mature influence, people that have been around the scene for a while.
It really does just come down to, the type of nostalgia factor that, when you have, absolute OGs like AABC coming from, 2015 or 2016, and, you're still just pushing as strong in 2026 now, 10 years later. It's always just awesome to see, just, seeing old icons here and there, just, doing what they love, even to the modern day, where, practically everything has changed at this point. I mean, yeah.
I mean, speaking of UNC, AABC has the alumni tag on the website, so that's all I'm talking about. That being said, we are moving in to the first map. Jerry and Court 31 HP versus Sarah and Asa.
Rather expected 2v2 situation that we have going into the first map, the Remy Goal, which is going to be perhaps one of the more technical maps as we have here. This one kind of features some more broken up streams while it's relatively straightforward. This one's bolting at a fast tempo at 270. It's pretty much looking like everyone's practically on the same page. Not everyone is looking to falter on action just yet. Even while we see some really small biases going into the side of Malaysia for, perhaps just a second, it doesn't even last for long as the score is literally just staying at 0. And this isn't particularly a long map either. It's only 2.5 minutes. So
if anything, there's finishers that look to be deciding it at this point, because everyone is still holding a double S. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh no! That's so unfortunate. Cord with the break. Well, I mean, at the early stages, and the speed map is realistically a consistency map. Just because most players at this level will be expected to be able to hit it and act very well. So maybe this is the strategy we were talking about, you know, from Indonesia, because Indonesia picked no 3, I believe. The strategy coming up might just be challenge Malaysia to make them make a mistake, you know? Force them to be super consistent all the time.
Yeah,
it seems to be working out. Still 2 double S's coming out from Indonesia.
Yeah, indeed. Indonesia's doing a really good job just simply going through this map, and it doesn't even seem like accuracies from Sarah or Asa have even faltered even a single bit. Even with the smallest of margins, it does seem like Indonesia's not crumbling even under the pressure that they were in, and now they're pretty much like safe and sound, unless something
47,000 points ahead on such a short map. This may very well be in the bank already.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, at this point, the only way that Malaysia can be able to take this point back is if it does come down to Sarah and Asa taking drops, which the map's basically just about, like, what, less than 10 seconds away from ending. I doubt it's really likely.
Yeah, it's not happening. There's no way. Oh, can they finish with the double SS ranks?
Dude, if we see that...
Oh my god.
Oh, no way! They did it!
Holy moly.
2 million. 2 million, bro.
Right. The qualifier results go out the window. Here we go. Anything can happen. What a fantastic performance by Indonesia to start off this match. Holy moly.
Indeed. Yeah, that is insane. Indonesia literally didn't even spend too much going into this tournament, even with, like, you know, the qualifiers at hand, and even going into the group stage, they're already taking this by storm with an immediate 2 million score. Look at it, at least try and at least take out the likes of Malaysia, as it was their first pick, but now Malaysia's in the turn to pick next, and they go for Hidden too. So this was, I'm assuming, going to be the more mechanical Hidden, probably.
Hidden 2, I do believe, is the... Well, we'll call it slightly trickier. It's 185 BPM, so it's not that bad. I think the way it's structured this year is that we have, you always have a slower hidden pick and a faster hidden pick. But the challenge nowadays seems to be less about, oh, how fast can you read, and it's more, what can you do whilst reading fast scroll speed. I'll be honest, I am terrible at hidden, so I could not play this one bit. So no matter what happens here, I'm going to be impressed.
Oh yeah.
We do see a full roster change from Malaysia. Maybe it's just let's get the better hitter players in, or maybe it's let's make sure that Jerry and Court can sort of regroup themselves after an unfortunate miss on their previous map.
Yeah.
Malaysia has such a deep roster, though, that they can kind of just get away with having different players on every single map at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's just generally one of the better strengths about Malaysia as a team going into this tournament, because they already have, like, you know, maxed out players in their team in general. They pretty much, like, would have looked to try and check every box that they would have needed. You know, you need, like, gimmick players, you need players that can handle some of the more consistent picks, and, you know, when all comes to worst, you just need, like, you know, some of your best allies going into this tournament as well, where, you know, it's pretty much it's pretty much, like, one of the most prestigious tournaments that we got in the game, the Taiko World Cup. I mean, it's quite literally in the name of that point, so, you know, you may as well just bring out all of your best cannons going into the fray. Otherwise, if you don't, then, I don't know, Indonesia may have some tricks up their sleeve at that point.
I mean, you know, the group stage, again, it's accessible enough for all the teams. As we've clearly seen, Indonesia double, like, max scoring the first map. Like, the group stage is accessible enough that even if you are, you know, the bottom third of the qualifier seedings, you can still, all these teams can still play these maps and set really, really competitive scores.
Mm-hmm.
And believe, here we go, we're starting Hidden 2. Again, a rather short map, and only 2 minutes, but...
Yep. Even furthermore, this is like 30 seconds less, 30 seconds shorter than the previous map we had. Keep that in mind. So this is basically going to be even more consequential if it does come down to mistakes coming from Malaysia, which it does look like there is some
small accuracy drops, yeah. But
yeah.
Yeah, that could just be nerves settling into the map. Oh, Sarah with a miss. That's not gonna help Indonesia. But and in the streams, if you miss once or twice, it's a lot more recoverable than if you chain miss a whole pattern. So they did it reasonably well to recover there, actually. Still holding 98% after a miss.
Yeah, indeed. That's practically the best thing to try and take into consideration going into patterns that will challenge your consistency, especially since, as we can see right here, even while the notes are fading out, you can already see that these are some really heavy alternating streams that just keep going on for quite a while. Heck, I think I just saw some positive burst there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of 1-6 snapped patterns in this. Oh my god, I was going to say look at the top left of your screen. But then the SS has been dropped, sadly.
All it took was 1 second to drop the double S.
One brief glance at the top of my screen. Apache Bola is having a really high accuracy. Actually.
Oh wait, that's a miss! Oh god.
Oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez.
Oh, I think
that is a big tank in accuracy as well. It is. Ooh. I don't think there's enough time for Malaysia to get back and get their lead back unless Indonesia misses right now. They just have to hit the patterns. It's not even about accuracy anymore. The combo, like they're above 400 combo. They're going to be gaining so many more points per note.
Indeed, bro. That's such a
once again, Indonesia 2-0. They take the first breakpoint of the match.
Indonesia didn't even need much time either. They're already 2 points up, looking to try and pull some kind of upset over here in the group stage round, which is definitely going to send some waves across some of their future opponents, especially if they have to face Philippines next, if it does come down to, you know, the reality where Indonesia does end up winning this one.
I mean, maybe they just had a better sleep and got out of bed slightly better earlier today. A little bit more energized, had an extra coffee before the match. Something's happening here, and maybe we're seeing magic happen right before our eyes.
Yep, as it looks like DT2 is going to be the next pick.
DT2.
Right. Yep.
This is, again, quite an accuracy-focused map. Obviously, the double times are not really going to be challenging in terms of like the raw speed you need in the group stages here for Taiko World Cup. But the accuracy that you need for double time obviously is such a significantly higher requirement compared to all of the no-mod maps.
Precisely that.
But this could be the most unexpected sweep we've ever seen.
Yeah, indeed. I mean...
And Jerry and Cord come back in. So maybe they've realigned themselves, steadied their nerves.
Yeah. Right. It does look like we're all going to be going back to the same lineups that we have seen on No More Free earlier in the start of the match. So pretty much makes sense. I mean, like, this map on Double Time pretty much goes close to the BPM that we saw on No More Free either way. I mean,
yeah. No, this is all the speed players. It's all the speed players coming back out to, except again, we'll see how well this translates. Two double S's from Indonesia on No Mod 3. Are they able to hold that accuracy on double time as well? I for one would hope it if they just crushed Malaysia. Again, it'd be entertainment, it'd be cinema. Seeds don't matter. Qualifiers are optional.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting top 8, the qualifier is inconsequential.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally just the general notion about most tournaments these days. Like, at this point, it isn't even really about, like, you know, the qualifier phase. In fact, Like the qualifiers, they can help to like, get you in a good position if you like, seed high in them. But when it comes to group stages, like it's pretty much like thrown out the window because if it does come down to like, round of 32s instead
Wait,
of
what's
group
going on
stage.
here? Why is Sarah showing hidden instead of double time?
What's going on? What?
There's something's going a little around. Oh boy.
It's okay. We
Okay,
panicked.
no, there's a client-side error from us. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah. Thank Christ for the panic button on stream. But anywho's, okay, okay, Bancho is still having a rough day.
We've missed a big chunk, but there's still 3 double S's on the board, and Cord with maybe 100.
Okay, this is looking a bit dicey right now. Even with the misjudgment from Cord, it doesn't look like anyone else is even giving out. I mean, Jerry's the next one to lose their double S, but it doesn't look like it's going to remain, disadvantageous for them very, very long either, because this is only 5,000 points in the favor of Indonesia right now, while both Sarah and Asa still have the double S once again. Sarah's going to be dropping their double S right now, so that's going to basically even out things a little
There's
more.
100 in this match right now, maybe 2, but that could be offside by a finisher being mishit very, very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are definitely like some
Holy
things
moly!
you gotta take in.
Isa's double S is a map again.
Wait. Oh my god! I
Holy
didn't even
moly.
realize how short this map was. Oh my god!
And it's over. Oh my gosh! 3 100s versus 2 100s. That is such a small margin.
Only 86 seconds was needed for this one. And
Oh,
Indonesia
wow,
take it
wow,
once
wow.
again. A point away from match point.
3-0. That is not what the script said. That is not what the stats said coming into this match. Indonesia is looking so strong right now.
Yep, indeed. Indonesia literally met up with our movie director and just decided to swap the scripts at like, what, 2 a.m. when nobody was even in the department at all, so...
What is going on? Indonesia
Something-
really came out to play, man.
Yeah. Malaysia is just going for a bit of a patch right now, but hopefully they can shift the tides a bit with their next pick, depending on
To be
what
fair,
they're
it's not
going
like they're
for.
setting bad scores. Maybe they have to leverage the fact that they're... Here we go, yeah. Malaysia going for free mod, so maybe that ties into their... Well, maybe... What typically happens is, if you are a higher seeded team, typically that is really shown in the free mods where you can add extra mods. So we'll see if that's maybe the strategy they're going for here.
That definitely is going to be something that all teams have to take into consideration going into this one. Okay, just milk, yeah. How different is this free mod pick from the other one? I forgot. My bad.
Well, both of the free mods are reasonably accessible, obviously, because, well, it is the group stage. It's not like there's going to be, top of the end skills required, but in general, free mod 2 and free mod 1, it will differ by the fact that one of them will be a little bit more focused on longer patterns and consistency, and the other one is a bit more snapping. I'll be honest, I've not played this map pool in that much detail, so I can't remember, but I guess we will find out. I fully expect Malaysia to go with as many mods as they can here.
Yeah.
They are allowed to do double hit and hard rock, I believe, right? So if that is allowed, I fully expect them to be doing so, but...
I mean, like, from what I know about, like, free mod picks and, the game mode World Cup that aren't Mania or something, they're usually like, you can pretty much pick out anything else, like, flashlight, hard rock, or even hidden. But double time is like not really part of the mix because it's mainly for its own category, as far as I'm aware, unless that's somehow different around here in the Taiko grounds.
No, I believe you're allowed to do two double mods, so... Yeah, oh my gosh, there's 8 mods on your screen right now.
Oh, you're actually. Oh my god.
That is...
Everyone's on Hidden Hard Rock. What?
Okay, we see a little bit of an inconsistency from Apajabole on the... I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name. A little bit of inconsistency on the intro, but the intro is it's a lot harder to act because all of the notes are really quite separated, whereas here you can easily get a group. Indonesia seeming to struggle a little bit more with the accuracy here. Malaysia is looking pretty strong with 99.5% and 98%. But Asa is keeping this very competitive. Really high accuracy on 99.5 as well right now. Malaysia is, however, building up a bit of a lead just off the early miss from Indonesia. But again, it was all in the intros. It's not like it's a huge sticking point.
Yeah, practically that. I mean, I would definitely
Everyone's
assume.
a combo cap.
No. Oh, sorry. What?
No. Everyone's a combo cap now, so it's all about how accurate. Oh no!
Oh, bro. Oh.
The slow part catches them out. Oh boy. The slow part catches them out. That is not good.
Yep. That's unfortunate. First miss coming up from Bola, as it does look like even what we saw from Malaysia's scoreline is only going to get further punctuated as it's now going to approach the 60,000 score mark and just basically going beyond that for the final third of the map, as it looks like Ace is going to be the next one to drop.
May be over.
Oh,
May be over. That is not going to help Indonesia's cause in this match. Oh, in this point, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, maybe again, this is sort of what we expected. Like, the higher seeded team showing off their skills on the free mods with being really comfortable with Hidden Hard Rock. Maybe this is a call for Indonesia to maybe take it a little bit easier. Maybe drop one mod to make sure you're accidentally overmodding, so you can guarantee a more consistent score. But it's not like they're performing badly. They're just not quite on the consistency level that Malaysia is showcasing.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely quite the expectation when it comes to maps like these, where, you know, it's going to be really hard to be able to articulate a lot of these really slow streams at about 180 BPM, which in fact should usually come as, like, you know, comfort zone for a lot of taiko players, I'm assuming, that are looking to at least go into entry level when it comes to the World Cup. It's just that, you know, putting them, like, stacking Hard Rock and hitting on them just makes them so much more difficult to even play accurately, and also to just see where all the notes are. So that's the first point from Malaysia.
I will say, Malaysia did have both of their players dropping the full combos towards the end. And hold up, I believe if Indonesia were to have just taken one mod each in SS, they might have actually taken that if they were able to do so. So again, maybe it's a case of, you know, bet on yourself to do the free mods with one mod, and instead of trying to overmod and match Malaysia, but I guess we will never know.
Yeah.
There's a brief timeout being requested from Indonesia.
Yep. Definitely kind of expected as well, to be honest, because Indonesia probably wants to try and at least make sure that they have been playing all their cards right. It didn't entirely go well with free mod 2 in particular, but even then, that was just one map. They still have
that also wasn't their pick. Yeah, like, Malaysia won free mod 2, but that was their pick, so the script says they're supposed to win their own picks. Indonesia's the only one who's taking a break.
Yeah, exactly. The only one, in fact.
Yeah, no, everything is still going according to plan for Indonesia. There's... Maybe they just need a quick toilet break or something. Who knows?
I mean, if it does come down to that, that would be fair enough. I mean,
I will say, from everything we've seen so far, I would imagine that Indonesia maybe just sticks with the no mods, tries to explore maybe no mod 4 or 5 to see how well Malaysia does on those maps. Because I think we saw, at least on the free mod, Malaysia seems a little bit more comfortable, especially on the double mods. I don't know how well that translates to Hidden and Hard Rock in the pools themselves, but...
Yeah, I mean... Maybe we're gonna have to see, because Indonesia still has, like, you know, a lot of these options on the board, but like you said over there, Iken, I definitely would probably expect Indonesia to try and stick to some of the more conventional picks that we have on the board. So No Mod 1 can definitely class that Babel. I mean, that one, pretty much still one of the more consistency-oriented maps. It's just... What was the map like again? I'm sorry, I forgot as well.
No. I mean, No Mod 1 is it is the consistency map, so it would be a gamble, but it would probably play out very similar to DT2, where you expect everyone to full combo, and you know the smallest changes in people's accuracy and inconsistencies would determine that map.
Yeah, practically.
But I don't think it's a bad shout. I think Indonesia definitely to do this.
There's only really one way to see, more or less, and that's gonna be if they make their pick once this timeout is done, dusted with.
Captain says pick Hard Rock 2. Okay. I have completely misjudged them there. No, I mean they did win Hidden 2, so maybe they feel confident in saying free mods, that's not where we're likely to win. But the single mod bracket is where they really believe they can be competitive.
Potentially, yeah. Pretty much still an expected pick from Indonesia, regardless of which, I'd say. Just because I think a common strategy is that a lot of teams, when it comes to the tournament mindset, is that when it comes to maps, they know they have to, like, you know, play comfortably, or at least ensure that they have, like, you know, as some kind of break laws in case of emergency type of pick. I definitely would probably assume that Indonesia's probably saving No Mod 1 for that type of scenario where they're going to have to try and at least get an easy point if they want to try and, you know, try and enforce something, if not, you know, getting match points like this very instant, perhaps.
To be honest, Indonesia needs one more point to at least secure the tiebreaker. Right? So they're looking good. They can't afford to lose a break point. Obviously, you're not going to aim to lose break points, but yeah.
I think at this point, there isn't really much else that I have to add on to this map in particular. This Solda is... We're looking to be yet another short map that's fast-paced and, you know, about 193 BPM. If you're rather familiar with the likes of Kyun's songs, then I think you pretty much know what you're in for.
Yeah. Here. So someone asked in chat, is it just the top finisher in the group that goes on to the next round? I just looking this up, to be honest. I don't remember if it was the top 1 or the top 2, to be completely honest with you. We're still looking at 4 double S's though.
Bro, you're serious. 4 double S's and we're literally almost about halfway to the map. What is happening? Oh no. Are we seriously having this again?
Oh, there's the first 100 by Cord 31.
Jerry also dropped a bit as well. Sarah dropped as well, kind of. But only just by a bit.
Everyone's dropped 100. So we're all good. We're all good. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yep. The score difference
everyone
is
dropped
gone.
The double S. Yeah, everyone is over the combo cap when they drop their 100, so there is no difference whatsoever.
Yeah. Or at least until we saw this misjudgment come out from Malaysia, that's going to at least grant Indonesia very consistent about 2,000-ish points or so, but it's really unsafe either if it does come down to, you know, a single mistake coming out from the Indonesians here.
It's a lead, but it's not comfortable at all.
Yep.
Indonesia does look to be getting the better of this, though. Looking really, really stable.
Yeah, they just need to keep it up for perhaps a few more seconds on the board because this map's literally just about to end. Only 3,000 points or so. And if it does come down to a single mistake, it's basically over for them. Unless Malaysia misses. Yeah, only less than that right now. And that's going to be it. 3,000 points.
Indonesia has done it again. 4-1 Indonesia to Malaysia. And that is match point for Indonesia. They could take this match on their next pick or by taking another breakpoint right now. This is really going to put the pressure on Malaysia. What a performance by Asa as well. 100 notes on Hard Rock 2.
Overall, really strong performances from everyone, as it does look like this was a really tight pick as well. Malaysia didn't, even having lost this pick, they did not allow Indonesia to really run too far away with this map in particular. So they're going to be picking into Fremont 1. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Fremont worked for them last time. It's hard to argue against the logic, right? Indonesia did not seem comfortable on hitting Hard Rock to the same level as Malaysia, so I mean, I agree with the strategy. Maybe they're a bit rattled. Maybe they weren't quite expecting this level of strength to be shown from Indonesia.
Maybe not. I mean, it is pretty much like, you know, those type of things that you gotta always prepare for when it comes to the tournament mindset, because, like, you know, at this time and day, like, we're pretty much in a state of the tournament scene where anything with an early game is going to be really volatile just because of the amount of teams and players that we see registering, just coming out here and there from every corner of the universe, just simply playing. And even despite what their seeding says, that's only but a facade for what the team actually has to offer. So Indonesia basically being that demon that's going up against the Malaysians here, that definitely does send the signal that Malaysia is going to really have to be careful with the next few picks that they have, because they're already slowly running out. All it takes is just one map for Indonesia to win, and then they advance to the next round against Philippines.
Here we go, I think so. Ooh. Okay, we have started the map. Here we go. Celtic Rifle and Gitcha versus Apaya and Asa. Oh wait, no, I got baited. The client's doing its best, guys. I'm sorry.
It's all good. No,
just loading in. This could be. Again, match point, everything on the line. The nerves for Malaysia must be going crazy right now. Then you can say the same about Indonesia. Maybe they were not expecting so well, or maybe they knew all along and they're just in their comfort zone.
Yeah. It is pretty much expected that, like, you know, a lot of teams would definitely have quite the ego boost if they were in such a position as Indonesia isn't right now, where you're going to be bound to pull off a pretty insane upset in the group stage early on. Or perhaps maybe Malaysia isn't as well fared when it comes to the early game in taiko tournaments, maybe. But that is probably just an assumption, just based on the fact that I don't really know much of the taiko lore around here, but it does look like they actually have quite a bit of an advantage right now.
They do. They're not struggling with the accuracy as much. And again, like, Indonesia very courageously putting on 2 hidden hard rocks. So it just seems that Malaysia is a lot more comfortable on it. I will say, I think Malaysia is comfortable on with a higher skill cap. But again, like, the group stage, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how high your skill cap is. You need to be able to, basically, you need to be able to SS these maps that may be a little bit below what you're used to.
Oh my god, that's a miss.
That's a miss. That is really, really unfortunate. Abaja dropping the full combo, and that's going to, again, 30,000 points now. That's going to climb to maybe 45, 50 points over the course of the next few hundred nodes, climbing back up the combo cap.
Indeed, and there isn't really much of the map left. There's only about one quarter going into that right now. As we go into the next course, this song, let's take a sit, Super Kid and Chapel Hex, and from what it looks like, Malaysia's gonna. All it takes is for Malaysia to drop to be able to bring it back into the favor of Indonesia if they just simply want to end it all right now. But Malaysia is not looking to let that happen under any circumstances, as we are slowly but surely approaching the end of the map. Whoever we're gonna be seeing Malaysia make it 4-2 in the favor of Indonesia is gonna be up to them as to prevent the match from being won just yet. Only a few seconds remaining.
Really active on the bottom half of your screen right now. 99.5 and 99.3. Ooh, that was a really valiant effort by Indonesia, but not quite enough. At the end of the day, Malaysia looking just a bit more comfortable on hidden hard rock. But again, maybe this is all expected. Maybe they knew that the free mods would be really hard to contest, planned their game around this.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I think if it wasn't for the stark difference in Bola and the upper score from Indonesia, then we definitely could have seen some really strong difference being made on this map, because it would have been really small, like just overall minimalized to a point where it would have been so much harder to win this one for either team. But with that in mind, it does look like Indonesia is going to be taking their next pick and potentially their final one if it does come down to
this is how they want to win. Yeah, you mentioned earlier No Mod 1 is still in there. Maybe they could try the same idea as before, where they're just gonna be slightly more consistent. Again, as they did with Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 2. Sorry, DT and Hidden. Maybe that's the pick and they go for No Mod 1, or maybe we are completely wrong and they go for a Hidden.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to see. They pick normal 1. All right, there we go.
No Mod 1, here we go. Let's gamble. Let's go gambling.
Time.
Oh, this cannot be comfortable as Malaysian players. Again, you have seen how well Indonesia is able to contain really accuracy. This has got to be pretty nerve-wracking for both teams. But again, Indonesia has shown they've gotten the better of Malaysia before with this sort of purely accuracy-focused maps.
Indeed, yeah. It does look like so far this one's gonna be a really interesting map to see what happens, just because of how interesting this map is overall. Like, I think generally, like as we have touched upon earlier on, this is practically the most gamble-oriented pick that we have of the entire No Mod pool. So the fact that Indonesia is basically saving this for the last of their picks overall in this group stage right here is definitely makes sense. I mean, this is pretty much the one option that they have that isn't really gimmick-oriented if they want to go something that perhaps more in their favor, because they're going to have to bring out all their speed players out for this one, as we see the core 4 players for the speed maps come out. Celtic Rival, Jerry, Sarah, and Asa coming out into the ring.
Maybe we're misinterpreting it. Maybe these guys are just the accuracy players. I don't know. For No Mod 1, this map is not particularly long. It's only 2 minutes 24, so any small drops are gonna have such a huge cascading effect on the score. I will say, sorry, everything sounds like HR2. That ain't quite right, buddy. I was just trying to read chat.
Oh my god, bro. I mean, to be honest, like, I kind of get it at the same time. That's just the thing. Maybe if we just went for perhaps a death metal song, maybe things could have been a little different in this round or something, but
I'll be honest. I know that Zay is making some of the stream maps. At least they made the stream map for this stage, and they'll probably at least consider making another one, but they don't seem a huge fan of death metal in Taiko World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's, like, realistically a lot of the a lot of the metal that we have available in the featured artist library is a lot more suited to the more late stage. Because a lot of them are really, really fast, and you'll have 4.5 minutes of 15 notes per second streams. Maybe not quite the level that we're trying to test in the group stage. Still, 4 double S's on the board. There is a tiny deviation. Is that just the client being... Yeah, that's just the client. There's no actual difference yet.
Yeah. Every team's just doing really well, ensuring that they have at least have what it takes to keep themselves afloat in the equation for the time being. This isn't really a long map by any means necessary, but that's a drop from Sarah right there. Oh,
and it looks so insignificant when you think about it. It's one slightly mistimed note, but in this map, it could mean everything.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh no, Jerry trades it.
Yeah, I was about to point that out.
Sorry, I'm just not paying attention as much as you are.
To be honest, I'm just doing what I can, I guess. So, yeah. Despite the small drops from Jerry and Saravo, it does look like Celtic Rival and Asa are still the ones ensuring that their axes on both their individual teams are still at the top as can be. The most important aspect that you gotta look out for as we go into this next core section, you still have a lot of these really broken streams, really heavy alternating that we have at a pause tempo, 225 BPM. Is really does not let up, and if anything, this can result in a really explosive result that we are probably going to be having in just a few seconds of the map ending. Only less than a few thousand points remain. Can Indonesia take it out, or is Malaysia going to at least have one more chance? We're going to have to see right now.
Oh, Celtic drops 100.
Over. Oh, yeah,
that's
done.
not. That is really unfortunate for Malaysia, but
well
played to Indonesia. They 5-2.
Well, they tried.
What this is again on paper? This is a huge upset. This is such an impressive showing from Indonesia. Wow, wow. And again, almost a double SS ranks again coming out from Sarah and Asa. What a performance.
Absolutely. In this territory, we have Windonesia coming out of this match, as it looks like probably one of the biggest upsets that we had in this group stage thus far for the Taiko World Cup, as they will be advancing over onto the next match, which is going to be potentially between the Philippines, as well as they are the ones knocking at the door in this department as well. So this one's going to be rather interesting, as it looks like.
Right. I have... Ooh. So, we have another match coming up on this channel, I believe, in 12 minutes? But on the other stream, we actually have a tiebreaker app. Hong Kong and Vietnam are 4-4 right now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so 10 minutes from now, we will see Malaysia versus the Philippines and Russia versus Poland. Yeah, as I said, there is still another match that's just finishing up, which, if you'd like to see the tiebreaker being played, you'd have to head over to us Live. Again, congratulations to Indonesia for their incredible performance. Great stuff coming out from everyone. Really, really close match, but it just got the better.
Yeah, indeed. I guess that's just what happens when it comes down to when you cannot predict what happens over in the group stage, for example. But as it stands, it does look like Indonesia is going to be remaining in the driver's seat for just a little bit longer. They will be looking to have their match against the Philippines tomorrow at 16 UTC on the very Sunday. So this one's going to be quite an entertaining match. Only one seed of a differential in the first round that we have. So definitely a match that you wouldn't want to miss if it does come down to that alone. And as for which, I don't feel I really have anything to say. So would you like to say anything else?
If I was the Philippines, I'd be scared because Malaysia is warmed up now. Surely this can only make them more difficult to play against in the match 10 minutes from now. But I'm really, really excited to see how Group B turns out, because this is, again, an upset. This is going to be super exciting. We could even see a three-way tie with everyone beating each other in a cycle. We will find out. I am really, really excited to see. So if you stick with us for just a few moments, we're going to have Russia versus Poland, I believe, on this stream. And Malaysia versus Philippines on the A stream after Hong Kong versus Vietnam wraps up there. But thank you everyone for joining, and I think we'll be back in a few moments with our next match.
Yeah, once again, thank you all for coming. Make sure to buy your
I've
banners as well
lied
if you
to
can.
you. Oh, I've lied to you. Malaysia is going to stay on OS Live 2. I lied to you, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry for that.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Misinformation spreader.
It's okay. I don't. Sometimes I lose track of how the group stage even works as well. It's kind of long, but.
Oh.
So
Well, I'm ready for another match, so we'll again see you guys in a few moments with our next match, and I'm gonna go watch a tiebreaker.
Yeah, fair enough. So, once again, thank you all for coming, and we hope you all stick around for a little bit. Be sure to buy some banners on the side. They're only about 2.5 cents with just your money alone. You can stack them up as much as you want, and you can also, and if it does come down to some of your favorite teams winning first prize in the tournament, being Japan or any other team, you'll get to keep that for an entire year. So don't miss out on the opportunity, as we will be awaiting on the next few matches. So once again, this has been Epic Man 2, joined by Ikin5050. We'll catch you all in the next episode. See ya and take care.